The troopers and National Guard members have been posted around the State House behind these barriers all day. But it knows after going back and forth with remote learning last year, students will have a lot of catching up to do. Buying large amounts of gift cards, but surveillance footage at some of the stores, that conversation happened here on the corner of Reading Road and Forest Avenue in Avondale, just a few feet from where 16-year-old Galvin Beauchamp was shot and killed. The district had 43 students go through an at-risk assessment. This is one of the biggest lines in the entire system, and in the last few minutes, crews were able to pull that car out of the hole. You can see now they're digging up bits of the debris. By double checking to be sure the car door is locked and putting any valuables out of sight, remote learning and other challenges from COVID-19 last year set some students back academically. So CPS is hoping to be fully in person this entire school year. If you look, you can see one of the cars involved in that crash is still sitting in the middle of Colerain Avenue. And Ohio State, like UC, are all now requiring everyone on campus to get the vaccine. Cincinnati Parks say that woman was walking on this mountain bike trail just off West Fork Road. This calm and quiet stretch of Chipman Ridge Road in Williamstown was anything but in the early morning hours of November 3rd.
I guess he called the cops. I guess he was needing help. It was a cry for help.
Gary Bressler Jr. says his dad was having a mental breakdown. He's speaking on behalf of the family, including his stepmom Heather, who was standing in the front yard with 3 of the couple's kids when Kentucky State Police pulled up to the house.
My little brothers are 11 years old. My little sister's 14 years old. They watched it all happen, and they explained to me word for word what happened. My dad didn't have a fighting chance.
According to the family, Gary Bressler Sr. was standing here near the end of the driveway holding a sword by his side when 2 Kentucky State Troopers parked their cars here about 45 to 50 feet away. Bressler's wife was too emotional to speak on camera, but tells me the troopers stood behind their cars, told Bressler to drop the weapon once, and immediately started shooting.
He just turned around and they were like, drop it. Didn't give him a shot. Didn't give him time to comply.
I've filed public records requests for 911 calls, the identity of the troopers who responded, any initial incident reports, as well as all materials and documents related to KSP use of force procedures. I've gotten no response to any of those requests so far.
I feel like the Kentucky State Troopers are getting away with a whole lot of stuff because they have no accountability.
KSP troopers do not wear body cameras, and the agency investigates its own troopers in these situations. The agency tells me it is working to get funding for body cameras and that it takes specific steps to ensure the integrity of these investigations.
It really makes me angry to know that they do things like this.
While Heather wears her late husband's wedding band around her neck, the family says information like that only adds to their concerns. In Williamstown, Josh Bazan, WCPO 9 News. These signs you see here are the only changes the city has made on this stretch of Harrison Avenue, and it's now been more than 4 months since we first introduced you to one neighbor who's raising the alarm. She says even with signs like these, the crashes keep coming.
You don't just accept it, we can't just accept like, oh, this is the way it is.
Carrie Rundle McIver lives on the 2200 block of Harrison Avenue in Westwood. We first shared her story in April of 2021 after a driver crashed, came down her driveway, and destroyed the fence in her backyard. Multiple city council members spoke to us at the time about improving the road, but Rundle McIver says not enough has happened since then.
But I'm not satisfied with what's happened because I don't feel like it's really made a difference. It happens all the time. Like, these poles get replaced all the time. People are always getting injured, and I'm sick of it,
The city manager's office says the Department of Transportation and Engineering put in these 2 curve warning signs in July. Rundle McIver says it seemed to help reduce crashes for a short time, but is not solving the problems.
Feels like Band-Aids. It's clear that there's a problem. Like, it's clear that there's a lot of work that needs to be done on our block.
We cannot have cars running off the road over and over.
Councilmember Steve Gooden says he added a motion to the city budget that was approved by council, setting aside $1.5 million to repair or resurface this exact stretch of Harrison Avenue and other trouble spots. But he's still trying to get answers from the Department of Transportation and Engineering to see if and when they plan to do something about it.
This precise piece of road, it says the 2200 block of Harrison. So, you know, there's some real frustration here.
Gooden raised some concerns with what he's calling the bureaucracy of city government that he says could be slowing down road repairs on this stretch of Harrison Avenue. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story and keep digging for answers. Reporting live on Harrison Avenue in Westwood, Josh Bazan, WCPO 9 News.
A long road.
For 5.5 months,
Big weight off our shoulders. Long time. It was a very long time.
the family of Molly Chappell has waited for this moment.
I didn't really feel like I would make it to this day, and here I am, so it's so surreal.
Molly was diagnosed with COVID-19 and pneumonia in January, and after going to the hospital, she did not come home until Saturday, when it seemed like everyone in Lynchburg was waiting to welcome her back.
An incredible feeling.
A lot of people have shown us their support. I never thought I was going to be going through this with my family, but we were never alone.
People would bring food, take care of my kids, watch my kids. I'm there for comfort for my family. Incredible. Truly blessed to be from a small town.
Molly spent most of her battle here at UC Medical Center. Her family says at one point doctors told them she had less than a 10% chance of survival.
Just so many ups and downs. And with Molly, she didn't go a little bit up and a little bit down. It was always way up and way down.
And they told my mom, if I did survive, that I would be on a vent in a facility for the rest of my life. And my mom said, then we pray harder, because you don't know my God.
Molly and her family say that faith and prayers from friends in Lynchburg and strangers around the world are why she's still alive today.
It was the sole thing that brought her through. It was a good God and good doctors are what brought her through.
For Molly Chappell, Saturday was full of moments, big ones she shared with the entire town, and little ones she saved for those who matter most.
We read her a book.
Yeah, because you're in you're going in first grade, so
Yep.
she read me a book because I missed a lot. Missed a lot of the school year.
Josh Bazan, WCPO 9 News.